Second in line, man, respectmyregion.com. We're here today on the North American Weed Tour with another episode of the California Cannabis Podcast, you guys. Today's episode is brought to you all by Seedless Media. Visit seedless.media, throw that into your URL, and you guys are going to discover a full-service marketing agency that does really great work in the cannabis industry. Over 200 clients in the cannabis space. $5 million plus dashboard, lots of technology, data-driven guys. Shout out my guy Steve Knapp for powering these podcasts. Their team's amazing. But we're circling it back because we've got a human on as a guest today that we've had on our women's podcast, but I'm super excited to have her on today. This is the store manager and a longtime friend. We're going on 3 or 4 years now, and we are Kent Ridge alumni. Shout out to Kent, Washington. Yeah. This is my homegirl, man, Diane Kessler in the building. How you living today, Diane?
Hello. Thanks for having me.
Man, it's a pleasure to have you in today. You have been making moves the last 2 to 3 years. You launched a music series. You've relaunched a store. You've rebranded a store, relaunched a store, and you've opened a new one. You've been busy, girl.
Busy. But
making moves.
Yeah, it's been
I love it. I got a lot of respect for what you do. A couple years ago, you reached out to me. This was during your tenure with Urban Arbor. Opening a store. I believe was in the Valley, no?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, super cool. Like, and I just want people to understand, like, this isn't something that's normal for people like us. A lot of people don't make it out of Kent. A lot of motherfuckers are still chilling there in the 206, in the 425. I'm from Fairwood. A lot of people went to high school and never left that area. Yep. And you are opening dispensaries. You're helping with delivery services in multiple cities in the biggest city in America. And I don't know, is Los Angeles the biggest in the world? I don't know. One of the biggest in the world, girl. You're making freaking moves, and I think that's super cool. So I just want to, because it is dope, man.
Thank you. It's been fun, you know?
It's been a blast. Now, Diane, this conversation today is about the best weed in California. I just went to Hall of Flowers. I didn't see you, but I believe Network Show was probably somewhere you were at.
Yeah, I did go to Hall of Flowers. I did see you, but you were busy.
Okay.
You were working, and I have extreme social anxiety, so I just be tunnel vision. Like,
you just kept going. She's just like, all right.
I was like, who do I see?
Okay, I'm with it.
Yeah.
So you after visiting 2 trade shows back to back, Los Angeles for the Network Show, Santa Rosa for Hall of Flowers. Obviously, you didn't have time to smoke all the weed that you got, right? So It's like there's not enough. Like, the amount of cannabis that we get at these events is insanity, especially when you're, a store manager or buyer, however it works. Talk to me about some of the things that stood out, if you wouldn't mind. Let's start with the Network Show in Los Angeles. Who were the brands that, as you walk by with this tunnel vision and select attention giving, who got your time? Who did you see? Who really impressed you?
Network Show, honestly, everyone really came and like played at Network. I enjoyed my time there.
Amazing.
I had fun at the Claiborne booth. They had like a little gas machine thing that people could take hits out of. I don't know if you tried that.
No, that's pretty cool. I wasn't able to be there. I was in Boston.
Okay. Yeah, that was super creative. I love creative things. I stopped at the Steezy booth, said what's up to the homies. Originals had a really cute booth as well. Yeah, everyone honestly killed.
Always goes big, man. I was just with them over in Massachusetts as well, and earlier this summer they went big over there, just like they do in California, man. That group still holding it down, cultivating some really quality OGs and gelatos still.
Yeah, yep, definitely. But yeah, everyone, I really want to shout out to the Network like crew as a whole, because that's my favorite trade show. I think it's really just like personal. I feel like you can really talk to people. The fact that you can consume at the booths, I think, helps the brands and just helps us, because we get all these samples and then we go home and try them, and you're kind of like disconnected, and at that point where I want to talk to the brand, and so I really, really enjoy that aspect of the Network Show, and it feels really like the community is just there,
Really? That's good. I have been to 2 other of the Network Shows. I was in Boston and Massachusetts for this last week, missing the Network Show. But I heard great things. I heard that there was a ton of retail there from Southern California.
Mhm.
A lot of the feedback I heard from the brands was that, man, it just was tough to have a back to back. It really caused them to have to split and go to both. Um,
Yeah.
it honestly led up to Hall of Flowers, and then I think Hall of Flowers had the best event they've ever had,
Yeah.
from what I'm seeing. And so it was like, I think there's a space for both. I'll be completely honest. I know that they was created in competition and because people felt that there were shortcomings with the bigger event of Hall of Flowers, but there's always going to be the big one, and
Yeah.
there should always be the hyper local, regional focused ones as well, right?
Yeah, yeah. I think they serve two different purposes. I think I love the aspect of Hall of Flowers bringing in, the public. I think that's very important. But I do also love the more private aspect of the network show and,
Yeah.
just seeing a bunch of familiar faces, just being in the know with people that are in the know. So,
Day one. Well, we don't. I'll touch on Hall of Flowers again in a bit, but back to the network show. You walked around. You said smoking at the booths, consuming. That could be drinking edibles, could be rubbing stuff on your hands and lotions, all the good things. What did you really stood out to you as the quality things that you saw? Stuff that maybe you don't usually see all the time. Was there anything new that really stood out, or anybody that came with the heat?
um, yeah, I mean, it's hard to pick the one because I feel like there was a lot of like smaller brands. They had kind of like an area where like the social equity brands
Oh,
got to
cool.
be,
Yeah, yeah.
which they do that at Hall of Flowers as well. What I would like to see moving forward is including social equity within everybody else. A lot of the times they get like put in
In
their
an
own
area.
space.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm just like, I get it, like highlighting that they're social equity, but sometimes I'm like, you could throw them, out with
Yeah,
everything.
if you could throw social equity right up next to Connected and Alien Labs or right next to a Maven, they're
Yeah.
gonna get overflow right there.
Yes.
And there's the opportunity for them to look at Maven or look at Connected or Stizzy booth and immediately go, oh wow, like look at these guys here, right? But
Yep.
it's this balance too of real estate and selling and it being a business and all that stuff. I
Yeah.
wanted to ask your thoughts on that wall of women there at Hall of Flowers.
Hmm.
What we were just talking about like just where booths are positioned and these areas for equity. I have yet to see anybody do women centric areas or curating that way. But Hall of Flowers, if they did the Hall of Flowers and then they did the Wall of Women, I would have to think that there might be a Hall of Women coming, right?
That would be
Pretty cool.
hello,
I,
cauliflowers.
I had an idea and I just was like, I just wanted to ask, you know what I mean?
Yes, I would love that. I would love to help curate that cauliflowers if y'all
Let's
need help.
go.
Yeah, I think that would be great. I love that's one thing I do love about Hall of Flowers and the network show is just connecting with the girlies. We're out here. We are. So I love that they had the Wall of Women. That was great. It was so cool to see, all the names, what
Right.
everyone's doing, everyone's accomplishments.
Shout
Yeah.
out Spenta at Hall of Flowers for helping to bring that idea to life.
Yes.
If not this being the seed for that.
Mhm.
I don't know the details there, but I definitely saw that and that made me smile from afar. And I've heard so many women just being able to be a part of something bigger than themselves. And that how, just how powerful that is for people these days.
Yeah.
Thought that was a smart move by Hall of Flowers, whether they did it for themselves or whether they did it in general, just made people feel special. And I think that those smiles go a long way.
Yeah.
But back to the best weed in California. So network show, you saw some equity groups that were there. We saw the big dogs that were there. Is there absolutely any flower brands that really stand out, Diane, that was like, okay, these guys, they got it right now. This is going on. This might be the best in California. Was there anybody there besides originals? Because I know it's people that love OGs could say that about originals all day long.
Yeah. So there's a brand that I actually discovered at Ventura Hall of Flowers called Heights. Their flower
Yes,
brand.
yes,
I really like them.
they do
I
great
really like
weed.
them. They do their weed is very nice. I love their packaging. I'm a little bit more in the art side of things now, managing Arts District Cannabis. So I really appreciate the art aspect that they have.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the custom artwork for their strains is really dope. They've always had really cool artists create. I don't know if it's one artist or multiple, but they've always had
mhm.
really cool looking packaging custom to the strains.
Yeah. Yeah, I like how they do. You can like scan the little QR code and it brings up
Mhm.
like a cool like digital.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They brought up the hologram on the new packaging.
Yes, the holiday.
Yes, that was super cool. Shout out Heights with their hologram infused packaging, man. Taking that experience from the real world and translating it to digital. For you guys that like those kinds of holograms and packaging like that, you can screen record, right? So turn on screen recording on your phone, then do the app experience or the hologram experience, and now you can post that video to your social media. A little free game for those of you all that are into that kind of shit. Now, Diane, part of the North American Weed Tour is that it's not just about flower. Obviously, I smoke, I eat it, I drink it, I infuse it, whatever it is, right? Talk to me a little bit about your experience being the store manager at Arts District. You guys have your own brand of flower you cultivate. You guys are vertical there. Talk to me a little bit about curating the best of the best or the best available for your store, because you can't always buy the 710 Labs rosin in every single SKU. You can't always buy everyone's new drop. And so when we're talking best of the best, Diane, walk me through some of these categories of products besides flower. We'll get to flower last.
Yeah.
But walk me through some of these best of the best brands that you guys carry there at Arts District, and tell me a little bit about why you believe that they're the best.
Yeah. I mean, for me, it's always going to be about the people of the company, and if they believe in their brand, because that does a lot for me, for the store, for customers. Customers I feel like they like to purchase product that people like, and even like brand support. I'm really big on brands coming in and doing demos, PADs. I know the budgets are weird nowadays and brands don't like to do that, but I'm like, I promise you, customers love to see that. So when I think of best brands, I think of brands that have good support, brands that are out there repping. I would say for vapes, I've always been a timeless brand. I love what they do with just their marketing. I love how hard that whole team just works. And they do really well in our store as well. They have their distillate line. They have their live resin line. They just dropped some disposables.
Yep.
They're really consistent, and it's a great group of people. I actually got some people to switch over from another brand. I won't say, but another brand.
We don't need you good.
To Timeless, and I was really happy because, again, I'm a people person. I'm gonna root for whoever believes in their product and whoever is overall a good person. So for vapes, I'll definitely say Timeless is doing really well. Bloom as well. Again, for me, it comes down to the team. I love the team over at Bloom. They're doing great things. They've been around for a minute now, so I think they're kind of like in the groove of things. They know what works. They know how to do their marketing as well. They throw some cool parties too, which get your customers engaged. I think that's very important. So for vapes, I'll give it to those guys right now.
I like those. One thing I've always liked about you, Diane, is that you definitely you're aware of the hype. You're aware of the trends. We're with the culture. We're in the know. But you're also always have been hyper focused on making sure you curate based on the things that lead to actual success. It's not just this oh, I like this brand, they do this, and so I gotta have them in my store. I'm good friends with this girl. Oh, support the girlies. Like, I know tons of different reasons why people buy. I tell people not to buy because they like me. Buy because it's gonna sell out.
Yeah.
I'll see you. I'll dap you up. I'll smoke you. I'm still gonna do all the things. But don't buy because you rock with me. Buy because it's a business decision that makes sense. The math's got a math, right?
Yes, it definitely has to math.
So one of the key things out there, and I've never sold to you, at least I believe, from like a product, and I'm a sales rep standpoint. Talk to me about how you guys have been managing the cash flow and taxes and getting vendors paid, because you've worked for a variety of retailers, and I think all of them but one, obviously you work for one right now, it exists. Yeah. I think all of them but one still exist. And so how have you, as a manager and getting involved in these, how has the cash flow process worked and just running a fluid business in those areas?
I just think, don't be greedy. I think that helps a lot. I've always been a frugal person. Like, I've always just money tight, which, when you start purchasing for a store, it's like, it's not your money. So, but I'm very much like prefer to do smaller orders. It's like I'd rather hit up my rep for an order like every 2 weeks because it sells out versus getting a huge order and sitting on it for a long time.
Yes, I can't stand that. I
I think
love the big orders, but it sucks when it's 60 to 90 days.
yeah. And it, I feel like it doesn't look good on the brand if something's just sitting. It's not good for the retail because now we're stressing figuring out how to push stuff out. We have to put it on discount so we lose money, all of that stuff. So I'm big on smaller orders more consistently.
Yeah.
And basing it off like realistic sales. I feel like a lot of people don't do that, which is weird. Like I'll, pull up my reports and see how much money a specific brand made me this week. And then I'll allocate, okay, this brand made me $2,000 this week. Let me put in an order for just under that, get it back going. So I think just really being smart, not being greedy, understanding that it is, like I said, it is easier to put in a big order. So you can just, we'll have stuff for 3 months. I won't have to think about that. But nobody likes aging product. Everyone likes things that are fresh. I also, a little trick that I have, sometimes, because it's bad to let your inventory run out. You don't want your stuff to run out. But if I have like 2 brands that are kind of similar, I might let a product run out. And sorry for the brands I let this happen to, but it's for a reason. I might let a product run out because then we can pivot people to another product. As long as you have good products on your shelf, it's totally easy to pivot to someone just to give another brand a shot. And then once that other product comes back in, it's up to the customer, like, what did you like better? The original one that you've been coming in for, or this new one that we tried. And I think that's been working for us.
Well, and especially too, if, this is a business and the business has to exist in order for there to be relationships, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it's like, again, going back to if the math ain't mathing, if brand and product A, which does well and makes you $2,000, and if that's a cycle, that's great, right? There's no problem with that. But then over the duration of a business, right, new things become available. Quality is subjectively relatable or similar. Price maybe becomes 50 cents cheaper. Mm-hmm. The math is now mathing better in another direction. Yeah. And this is where it becomes hard. They call it the race to the bottom, but there's definitely it's not a race to the bottom if another brand comes in and offers promotions because they can. That's called capitalism and it's called business. Yes. Not everything is a race to the bottom. There's a variety of ways to do retail, right, Diane?
Definitely. There's plenty of ways, and I think this whole race to the bottom, I have 2 emotions on that. Like at one point I'm like, yes, people do want cheaper stuff. We all, like aren't making as much money as we were, years ago before pandemic, all of that. However, in my store, at least, we do see a lot of tourists, and there's a lot of people who won't get the cheap stuff basically because it's cheap. And when you think about it, like when you go on vacation and you go out to eat, you're not looking for the cheapest thing. You know what I mean? You're looking for the best. So I do see this race to the bottom, but I also see that there is places for more premium items. Mm-hmm. Not in every store. Like I said, we have, a lot of tourists. We get like 30 new customers a day. There's room there for some more like higher priced items. Not everything has to be super cheap. Mm-hmm. However, if you are going to have a higher priced item, it needs to come with quality. And in my opinion, it needs to come with some sort of support, some sort of give back to your customers, whether you have cool merch or whether you do events or whether, you can enter into a raffle to win something if you buy that product, whatever. But
there's got to be some kind of element there.
Yeah, there's got to be some kind. But yeah, there's space for it. Not everything has to be cheap. And also I tell purchasers, or I tell brands a lot when they come in and try to sell stuff, they're always telling me they have the cheapest stuff. And in my mind, I'm like, dang, well, if I have a bunch of cheap stuff, then my average order volume is going to go down, which is going to make my sales go down. In my head, that's what I think. I'm like, I don't need everything cheap. I don't need, I just need it good. 100%. I need a quality. I need support. And, we'll sell it.
100%. with you, because I know you, and we both, come from the music and we're active in the culture. I wanna ask you for your starting 5 favorite, because best is subjective, favorite and best flower brands in California. Starting 5.
Starting 5. Okay.
Let's do this. Let's customize it.
Mhm.
If you know they're from SoCal, I want SoCal first.
If I know they're from SoCal, okay. SoCal first. So biased, but I'm going to start with 3C. And the reason that I'm going to start with 3C is the consistency of the flower.
Yep.
I love that. I just love knowing that if I want a Jack, I can go get a Jack. If I want a gelato, I can get a gelato, and it's going to be pretty much the same. They've been growing weed for a long time. They have an original cut of OG, so they'll sprinkle that in everything, and just the consistency. So I'm going to put them as number 1.
Yep.
Put them as number 1.
Is that on the favorite or the best side?
I'm going to say both.
Ooh, I like that.
I'm going to say both. It's my number 2 is going to be the same of a favorite and the best, and that's going to be Sherbinski's.
Oh, okay.
Another bias, because I did open that store, but I did spend a good amount of time with Mario and just like talking to him and knowing like the passion that he has with his genetics. And Sunset Sherbet is my favorite strain. It really is. And he does it the best. Yep. Working at the store, I got to smoke a lot of the product. Consistent, good every time. Now we do carry Sherbinski's, and it's one of our top brands, honestly. So that's gonna be my.
Those are I'm a big fan of Sherb. Don't get me wrong, just not active, not as active in the digital sphere as they used to be. Right, this perception of hype and just busyness making moves.
Yeah.
And so definitely that's a sleeper one for sure, but you can't sleep on them when they're growing indoor, man. They got those genetics come from him.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they really do. Yeah, I would say so. Number 3, I'm going to have to give it to Connected Alien Labs.
That's 3, 4, really.
Yeah, that's 3, 4. That's 3, 4. I'm going to put them at the same, though. It is 3, 4.
Yeah.
But I want to give
that's 2 different things, others. Even though they're partners.
Yes, 2 different things, but Connected Alien. If I had to pick, I'd probably put like the Alien Labs above. But again, I kind of look at them as the same. Maybe they don't prefer that, but
Connected created Biscotti.
That's very true.
Woo! It's tough.
But if I'm gonna do like a Biscotti kind of vibe, like I'm gonna lean on my Sherbinski for that kind of vibe. You know what I mean?
You're not wrong.
But Connected Alien.
Wait. I think both of those guys aren't SoCal though. I'm pretty sure that's UpSac.
You're true. That's true. Okay, SoCal. Oh, SoCal.
And 3C, are they based up in Santa Cruz still, or are they
Nope.
Big Sur or whatever? Or are they down here now?
Yeah, they're down here. They've been down here.
Okay, I just wasn't sure. I knew that they used to have it up there and then down here too.
Yeah. SoCal.
So that means 3C. And was Sherb out here for his indoor?
Nah, I mean he's originally NorCal. So
okay, so those you got your 3 in NorCal up there, but 3C we'll put him down here.
Yeah. We'll put him down here. Dang. Okay.
I was gonna ask for the starting 10 anyway, so I wanted 5 NorCal, 5 SoCal. So this is good.
What about? I really fuck with traditional too.
Yeah, they do. That would be a big one in SoCal for sure.
Mm-hmm. I mean, originals. We brought them up. They have some really good OGs. I love them.
Hey, I gotta be real with you. This might be a hot topic. You ready?
Let's go.
Originals or Cure Company?
Originals.
Oh, she was quick with it. Ah!
Yeah, originals.
Damn.
I mean, Cure Company, they're good. But for me, what carries a Cure Company is Marathon. So yeah, I mean, if you want to just say Marathon.
I hear you. You got a guy, you got Marathon putting up 40 points a game, but the rest, maybe not.
Yeah. So
I hear you. Gelato from the Cure from Originals, and the Oaksterdam from Originals, the SFV from Originals. They go the London Pound Cake, all of them go crazy.
All of that. I mean,
they got a Jack over there too now.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love that. I love a Jack. I love a good Jack.
So Originals and Traditional and 3C so far for SoCal, and then you got Connected, Alien Labs, and Sherb. up there for. So we need 2 more for each.
Two more. Okay,
this is crazy. This is a great list right now.
Yeah. So recently, I've really been into Oak Fruitland.
Oh, let them know.
Oak Fruitland.
This is me getting hypey for Oak Fruitland.
Yep, and they do really well in our store. They do really well, and they are women owned. And I didn't realize that they don't really, hype that up, which I think is cool.
They let the weed and the brand do its thing.
Yes, but they're doing really well. I'm not mad at them at all. I'm not
amazing.
That's up north. Down south.
Damn, we're getting close. We got the last one in NorCal coming and 2 left for SoCal.
SoCal's really tricky for me.
You know what? There's some brands right now that I'm just surprised you're not mentioning, but I'm going to wait and let it come to you. Who? Okay. Claiborne.
Okay.
Not, that's the fam, and I really rock with them. But sometimes it's really tough for me to put their weed in the best of the best.
You know what? I have mad respect for them. They have good flower. I have mad respect for them. Let's just say.
I love the brand.
I think, I love
the packaging, the terps, the weed is good.
Mm-hmm.
But their top tier stuff, the gold line, the fancier genetics that they created, I never know what it is.
Yeah,
and I also don't recognize it as in the terp profile of the palette. It doesn't ever get me as excited as that, the Moonbow with the Skittles, and gas, or the permanent the Trop Cherry permanent marker from whatever. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's crazy to say this. I love Claiborne more than I love their weed.
Facts. And I, again, love Claiborne, but I think sometimes when your menu gets really, really big, you're doing a lot of things. It kind of starts to blend. You don't know what that product is,
My favorite 2 products from Claiborne, in fact, are not their flower eights, which sounds crazy. Their flower eights would test really good on my product reviews. They always do. Terpenes, strains, the flavor, it is great for what it is.
Yeah.
It's just what to me, what gets the same score as those products, but even goes higher. Those diamond joints go stupid. They're fucking fire. They are crazy fire. They're
the flyers.
Yeah, like the flyers are fire. Those are probably some of the best infused joints, hands down, in the country.
And then just multi-pack. That's so smart. You know, people get tired of smoking the same thing. So the flyers, Mm-hmm.
And then I really enjoy their pre-ground roll your own with the keef and stuff. That, to me, there are other pre-ground brands in the flower category. None of it is high-end indoor. Mm-hmm. And the keef that they use is from high-end indoor. It's from their shit. And so just overall, that experience looks dope. It smokes fire. The nugs are good. Like, there is no better pre-ground or little travel pack thing, like a smoke thing, like the cigarette stuff. There's no one else does it better than them, even though Old Pal outsells them across the country in that category. Claiborne's is better.
Yeah, Claiborne's definitely. If we're putting him against Old Pal, definitely Claiborne.
Now, here's one that you were sleeping on. You ready?
Yes.
Maven!
I was literally just about to say that. Because I was like, they're NorCal, right?
No, that's here. They're Valley. Their dispensary is Kush Alley, and they also have a Maven Genetics dispensary.
They do. Shout out to Shane. Maven, they killed it at Hall of Farms as well. I
don't know where Blem is from. Do you know where Blem is from?
Do I know where Blem is from? I don't.
BLEM.
Yeah, I'm familiar with Blem. Been talking to, who's the rep? Justin?
Yeah, Justin's the guy.
Yeah. Because I'm gonna drop the brand. I'm gonna drop CBX because
that's LA.
That's LA, and that's just CBX. Like you can't. That's cereal.
I'm excited to hear your list right now.
I mean, CBX, they're going to be on that list. Again, consistency.
That's your 4 or 5.
I think that's Maven, because that's LA. That'll be the 5.
Maven and CBX. So that's your 5. So and then I don't know where Blem is from, so maybe just throw them on NorCal.
Yeah,
they got to be in it.
Yeah, they got to be in it. I have mad respect for them. We do not carry them yet, but it's a brand that I consider because they've been doing really good work as of lately.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but they're killing it as well. Love it. Like,
So there's the mine is similar.
okay.
Like obviously connected and Alien Labs up north. I didn't know Sherb was still around, to be honest, here
Yeah.
in Indoor. I know a lot of energy in them has been put into Florida and some of these other places, and so I did not know that. But I would definitely went there. His sun-grown greenhouse shit that he ran a couple years ago, when Dave Warden was still on the team, and probably when you were on the team back then and stuff, like that was the best greenhouse and mix whatever they were doing in the state. The
Yep.
genetics were crazy, and then the indoor version of that. I mean, again, he created these strains with their partners and his friends and the familia that they've had in up in the Bay and you know all that good stuff. So it's like that was for sure the case back then. I don't know about now. So, and I definitely, unfortunately, I wouldn't put CBX on either on my LA list. I would have Maven up there for sure, up towards the top. I think Ted's Buds has got to be up there. I
Yep.
think up in the Bay for sure. Oak Fruitland is making some serious noise and has made consistently serious noise for the last few years.
Yeah.
We said connected Alien Lab, so I'll put Oak Fruitland in there. I think I think it's hard. It's hard to leave off, and I'm not saying that I believe they've got the best, but it's hard to leave off Natura at this point because some of the people they're really doing their thing for some brands up there right now. Shout out Your Highness, working with them.
Mm-hmm.
I think. What's that? The brand that from Los Angeles? I want to say I believe it's black owned. It's the blue. They got the
Ball
like the
Family Farms.
band, huh?
Ball Family Farms.
It's the Los Angeles. It looks like they got like the bandana. It almost looks like it's like a whole brand of Crips. Almost, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Oh, I know. They're at Network, yeah.
yeah. They create.
Is it called like OG something?
Um,
I know what you're talking
why am
about.
I blanking on this one right now? This is crazy. I'm gonna have to pull up. I'm gonna have to pull it up real quick on the homie because I know.
Sidebar, at Network, I got some samples from Fields Family Farm.
Field Family Farms has really good weed too.
They have really good weed too.
Yeah, Sog Army up north, they have really good weed. Clarky's has really good weed.
Now my brain's coming like Fig Farms. Why
Oh yeah, Cam probably. Okay, so let's redo this. Let's revisit this. So
Yeah.
up north, let's land on something. Up north, we've got Connected Alien Cam
Mm-hmm.
for sure. Is that the top 3 best of the best for commercial mass scale weed right now?
Yeah, I would say.
Okay, so then let's go SoCal real quick. So we got our 3. SoCal, 3C.
Mm-hmm. Gotta be.
Are you putting originals?
I'll put originals.
And Maven. I got to put Maven there.
Okay.
Maven's got the best out of those 3.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Okay. Now to round out the final 5, the last 2 on each, you had Sherb for NorCal.
Yep.
Do you want to throw in Fig Farms or Oak Fruitland?
Oak Fruitland.
Ooh, I would say Fig kind of disappeared a little bit compared to Oak Fruitland.
They did, and I'm just gonna say with Oak Fruitland, they have like a little bit wider range, so more people are able to try their product, which to me makes them a better brand all around. Not necessarily like the quality, but like a better brand. You know what I mean? They have like a little bit like lower price. They have like the 7 grammars. So I would give it to Oak Fruitland for sure.
Crazy. I love it. Oak Fruitland made it in the 5, man, for NorCal and Cali. Let's go. That's a big deal, low key. You think they're in the same combo as Cam, in the same combo as Connected A-Labs? And I'll be honest, can I be real with you? I don't necessarily know that I trust the testing numbers on some of these Cam products, and I'm not trying to throw shade at Cam or nothing. The weed is fucking fire.
Yeah.
And what I was about to say in addition to this whole thing is that I honestly think her weed is more potent than the Connected stuff and the Alien Lab stuff.
Okay. I
I'm
mean, I'm
I
gonna
find
put
myself being more attracted to the nugs in
yes.
her jars
Mm-hmm.
and the big bag and like the half-ounce bags and stuff that I buy from them, comparatively to the stuff that I get from Connected and Alien Labs.
Okay. Okay. I'm not mad at that at all. We did carry Cam for a little bit. It unfortunately did not do very well.
Mm,
I don't really know why. I think maybe just the representation. It's a brand that like if you know, you know.
yeah, for
You know.
sure.
But as far as like I said, we get a lot of tourists, we get a lot of, you know, people that aren't in the industry that come in,
Yep.
and I don't think they have enough brand recognition in the regular world, I like to say.
No, for sure. I
Cannabis
think
world, people know, but regular
industry for sure. People buying fireweed all the time for
world,
sure. And that
hmm
kind of goes back to like, the groups like Ted's Buds that exist, right? They some certain stores that shit flies faster than anything else in the store, and some other places those bags just sit because there's just not enough people of that enough of a certain kind of customer going to that store.
exactly. Yeah, yeah. But still great products.
Now, I'm not going to have us break down the top five in all these different categories because otherwise this will be a 2-hour episode. But I would love to hear some of your thoughts on the best brands in some of these other categories. So I'm going to say a category. If you could spit off 2 or 3 companies and maybe focus on one for that would be super dope.
Yeah, for
All
sure.
right, we're going to start off. We're going to work our way backwards because these categories never get that much love. Hit me with your favorite tinctures and like topicals and wellness brands.
So again, Opinot, which is a 3C brand. We have a lotion. Can you see?
Love it. There we go.
There it is.
Boom.
We have lotion. We have a tincture. People swear by it. So when it comes to like topicals, more medicinal side, I just believe what people say because I don't really use cannabis in that aspect. However, I sprained my ankle not too long ago. And so I was like, well, let me try some of these topicals. And when I tell you this Opinot, I get why people swear by it. I understand. And again, it is a home brand, so I might be biased, but it does really work. I like that it's a lotion consistency. A lot of people do like the Papa Barkley, which is another great brand. They have some
Yep.
great
I'll
tinctures.
speak on Papa and Barkley's efficacy after you.
Okay, yeah. Which is really good. But I think, Opinot has something going. They're smaller. Not a lot of people know about them, but I do got to shout them out. And I do think it's a really, really good product.
Mm-hmm.
Second to that, I will say Papa Barkley because they've just been doing it for a long time. I think they really dialed in the medicinal part of it. Their products people swear by as well. I like that they have, the PME kitchen as well. You can do some of the edibles, which are really nice, really like high end ish. Not high end in the price, which I like, but high end in kind of like the quality. People like
Yep.
that. So I'll give it to them.
Amazing.
Yeah, when it comes to topicals and
There's obviously groups out there, ABX, right?
Mm-hmm.
You've got Yummy Karma tinctures. You've
Yeah.
got Mary's Medicinals, multi-state brand. I believe they started in Colorado.
Yeah, Mary's is great too. I was
Classics.
a huge Mary's fan. Like,
The patches I used to send I sent one to my grandma one time somehow, or I sent one to my mom. Somehow my grandma got it and wore it a sativa one day, and she called me and was like, "Yo, I'm having a great day." It's so funny.
yeah, shout out Mary's Medicinals. Like, Yummy Karma too. I love Yummy Karma. I love their range of tinctures that they have. The flavors. Love it.
The big dogs, the big bearded dogs over there at Beard Bros, they got them RSO too. They got their tinctures too. I believe they got second place at the California State Fair competition, and then they have their RSOs. I want to also bring some awareness to Emerald Bay extracts as well as, is it Pride? No, what's the red brand they have? We got other good RSO products as well. Anyways, Emerald Bay Extracts does really great work. Bird Valley Organics does really great work. RSO products. Make sure you guys tap in with those. I want to get to some good stuff. We're working our way back up, right? What are your thoughts on some of the best edibles in the actual state here, Diane?
I mean, Wild.
Still, number one. That was quick.
Number one, Wild. Drops is kind of like a newer brand, little gummies. They have.
Yep. They're out of Oregon. Shout out Drops.
Yes, they're really good. I like their effects, their packaging. I like that the packaging has like a flavor, it has a strain, it has the effects on it. They
I
kill.
used to sell those as part of the Buddies brand ecosystem back in 2019 and 2020. And
Wow.
then they took them back and we launched other stuff.
Hmm.
And then it's cool. It was cool to see them come back a couple years ago.
And let's back up to the wellness again. Buddies, they have a great like wellness line too. The little
Yeah.
like hot that they have. Some of their tinctures are really good too. I want to just
That topical did really well with when I was there, as well as the capsule products.
yeah, the
Talk
cat.
about ratioed products, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just products that are meant to have, other cannabinoids for specific targeted care.
Yeah. Um, Again, but to the edibles, I would say Wild. I really like the drops and Hiatus. Honestly,
That's a
those
CBX brand, right?
the CVX brand, those fly off. I cannot keep those stock. That's a product that I need to order more. Like
I'm gonna shout out a former Emerald Cup champion edible. Space Gems are my favorites.
Space Gems are fire as well.
I am absolutely biased because I know Wendy,
Okay.
but I still stand on those actually being the only sour candy up until Connor released their sour belts.
Mm-hmm.
The Space Gem sours, the variety pack, were the only candies that would make me pucker up
Yeah.
and like make that
Mm-hmm.
face, that you want from sour candy. Those
You carry
products are great. But obviously, they're ice hash, so super unique on the infusion. I mean,
Mhm.
there's great distillate gummies, right? You've got the wild distillates, you've got the Kana distillates.
Mhm.
Kana now just has the little mini chocolates; those are good. They've got the sour belts; those are delicious. You can't sleep on Kiva, the Lost Farms,
Can't.
those Starburst chews, gas, the gummies in the tubes.
Mm-hmm.
And they also partnered with that artist, St. John, right?
Oh, I didn't know
Yeah, that
that.
was a couple years ago. They did a collab with them, and then they did another collab with another artist. Kiva does collabs. That's just super
Mhm.
cool. Like, there's some really great food edible products. One of my other ones, heavenly edibles,
Yep.
the baked good ones.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, those are so fire. You know what my favorite edible of all time is? Anything that's fruit, for the fruity rice, the fruity pebbles rice crispy treats.
Yeah.
Any edible like that is my favorite.
Mm-hmm. I miss that. I miss those. We don't really get a lot of like Rice Krispie, like the confection kind of. There's cookies. Like we have the Dr. Norm's, we have the Big Pete's, but I feel like
Shout out to Big Pete.
yeah,
Shout out to Big Pete's. Those are pretty tasty.
they are. They are. They are.
I like the Dr. Norm's. Those makes me think of that cookie brand that's in every grocery store in 7-Eleven.
Mm-hmm.
I forget.
So,
I don't eat those no more, but it makes me think of those. Okay, let's move forward. Let's keep moving. This is a fun one. Beverages. What is Diane's favorite beverage in California?
um, my favorite beverage. So I would say like in our store, what flies the most is the St. Ides. Gotta
Yeah,
give it.
that tends to be pretty standard for most stores because of the price point.
Mm-hmm. But I think the brand is Almora.
Ooh, yeah,
Almora.
you like that live resin celt, that fruit juice?
Yes,
Yeah,
those
that
do
yum berry.
well. Mm-hmm. We
That's
also we do carry Uncle Arnie's as well. That's a cute brand. They're fun. Again, mad respect to them as a brand. They always come and do pop-ups. They're always at all the trade shows, killing it with their booths.
Do you drink the small ones or do you drink the 100 mils?
The small ones.
Me too.
Yeah.
I was complaining for years. I don't think they answered my request, but they finally gave us those small ones. That cherry limeade, gas.
Yeah.
That green tea tastes just like the Lipton teas.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm.
So I would give it to them. We carry all those. They do pretty well. People like to say things about the drink industry. However, again, something that I've learned with working at a bunch of different dispensaries, it's really about your customer base. It's really about where you are. Like I said, where we are, we got a lot of passerbyers, a lot of people stopping by before work, stopping by before they go out, tourists, whatever.
People that are on the go buy drinks.
Yeah, they buy drinks. People come in and get drinks. So I'll definitely give it to St. Ides. I'll definitely give it to Almora. I'll definitely give it to Uncle Arnie's.
If you want to be stoned and high as fuck while you're at work and you do not want to smell like weed or have a vape pen in your pocket, or maybe you're going through security or whatever, any reason, drink half of those St. Ides, and you will be fucked.
You will be faded.
Man.
I got a shameless plug because 3C, we do have a drink option as well, which is our liquid joint. Comes in 10 milligrams, you have 30 milligrams, you have 100 milligrams. Those are killer. They're not really out in too many stores, but if you can get your hand on a liquid joint from 3C, you will enjoy that.
I'm here with all these shameless plugs, girl. We had you on for a reason. I know you rock with them and they rock with you, and so I'm interested. I like the double dip here. I get to learn about more weed, and ultimately, on the North American Weed Tour, it's all about discovery and competition. So we're learning about the good stuff, and we're also discovering some new products. So this is great. Yeah. Now, I'm going to drop some bombs here on beverages-wise. I love the Uncle Arnie's. I do not ever drink St. Ides. The day St. Ides creates a 10 milligram or a 20 milligram, I will drink it, but I will co-sign the greatness that is that Almora fruit juice seltzer. That is delicious. Sparkling juice, fruit. Just I'm not Man, I really like the Wonder used to be all over the place. I don't know if they're still around. I definitely want to shout out CQ. Shout out the homies at CQ. They have those spritzers. Those little fruit spritzers. Those are gas. Oh my God. Absolutely love them.
Wow.
Okay.
That's legacy.
We're on our final 2 categories. Vape and pre-roll. Let's start with pre-roll. Pre-roll wise, who actually has good pre-rolls that Diane recommends?
I'm a pre-roll smoker, so this is going to be a tough one. So Raw Garden, their 3-pack. I'm not mad at it at all.
I'm not mad at it either.
I'm
glad you brought it up.
Consistent. It's the 3-pack. I like how they're rolled. I'm not good price.
The diamonds in them, you can see the chunks.
Yes.
They didn't pulverize it. They made them big in there.
I love that. Another pre-roll brand. So I'm gonna shout out these 2, and they're very different. So Birdies. I really like Birdies. Again, I'm an on-the-go kind of like cannabis smoker. You know what I mean? Like on my way to work, I do not condone smoking and driving, but do what you do. You know, on my way to something. So I really like Birdies. They're like small, kind of like the cigarette style. They have like the bigger 3-pack, kind of similar to Raw Garden, and they're infused, which I like. But they're super, super, super cool. I love the owner. I linked up with him. He actually sponsored one of my All My Friends Are Dope events back in the day. So I got to try a lot of their products. But Birdies is good. And I will say that the intro smokers, the people that, you know, aren't trying to get a 30% THC pre-roll, really enjoy the Birdies, and I enjoy them too. So I'll give it to them. Another brand is Puff. And I wouldn't say they have the
best. Those are the infused ones, or are you talking about just the regular ones?
Well, they have regular, they have diamond infused, and they have hash infused, the packs and singles. Puff, West Coast Trees, they're kind of like a sister company. But those are really good. I was very impressed because, you know, you think the price point, they're cheaper. I'm just like, oh, this is probably not going to be a good pre-roll, but they're actually really, really nice. And so I like that, you know, you don't have to spend a bunch of money, but you can get a good quality pre-roll. Not mad at those at all. I also, bringing back to St. Ides, I also really like their blunts. Too big of like a cannabis blunt, like hemp paper. Some of them just be too harsh for me.
But I really taste the weed most of the time.
Yeah. I really, really like the St. Ides blunts. I will always smoke one of those for sure.
I love that. Big shout out to those options right there. Those are some really good choices. Do you have any others that you'd like to round off with? I'm gonna name some products that are not on the list so far.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring back Sherbinski's too. They have a 5-pack pre-roll ceramic tip.
Love that.
They're very nice. If you try anything from Sherbinski's, I would pick up their pre-rolls first, and they're very nice. Again, Connected Alien Labs, their pre-rolls always hit. Seed Junkie.
Oh, yeah.
And that's a brand that I feel like we should have sprinkled into the top flower brands because they always kill it. But their pre-rolls are very good. They are very good. They're a nice price. Their packaging is really big. I've been wanting to tell them, like, y'all should slim down on your packaging because you look at it and it looks like a pre-roll pack. And people think it's a pre-roll pack. It's just one.
Oh, wow.
Their pre-rolls are really good. They hit. I will never turn down a Sea Junkie pre-roll.
So obviously, like, and we almost forgot. There's also the extract category too. We'll get to that. But pre-roll wise, you've got those Claiborne Flyers. I'd
Yes.
say Originals full flower 1 gram pre-roll. I think it's arguably unmatched. There's that OG brand earlier that we were talking about. That's all blue. They just launched that strawberry gelato strain too. That's so they have they got the red strain or whatever, or pink or whatever it is. But they their pre-rolls also,
Kush?
huh?
Are you talking about LA Kush? Is that the brand? No.
Nah, it's like I literally know the brand. It's like LA Traditionals versus Traditional, or is it LA Originals versus Originals? I don't know, but it's all blue, and they throw the network show with those guys. Like they threw the first one, and were
Oh.
a big part of the second one. I just don't remember what they're called. Anyways, but those guys do great work, and that's black owned. Their pre rolls are some of the best I've had. Usually, like infused pre rolls. Obviously you got hash rolls out there. Rosin Tech does great work. Traditional just is killing it across the country. I sell hash rolls with Dank Vapes. They've got some really good ones. There's the I used to really like the Pure Company pre rolls, but that was pretty limited to the Pure Lotto.
Yeah.
And the Marathon, and then I'd have to say.
Yeah.
Pretty much any pre-roll. Oh, Zodix for a while was all over the place. Their weed was really good for a little while. But yeah, we were both talking a little bit too, the vape space, right? We were talking a little bit about buddies, all these other, you mentioned Stizzy earlier. Vapes is an interesting world because I think Coldfire has the best, Coldfire's cured resin products. I think those ones get the people the most excited.
Yeah.
Like I see buyers and bud tenders pretty much only vaping Coldfire
Yeah.
if they've worked in the space for a while and like know what they're doing.
Yeah. Coldfire definitely. Yeah, that's like pro shit, I would say. Like you're gonna smoke that if one, you feel like smoking a vape, and two, if you want it to be quality. Because I don't really be smoking distillate.
Like there's definitely people that just vape all the time, and there's good brands that exist. Cake is popular. Dank Vapes exist. Stizzy exists. I know Buddies is still around. You still got ABX. ABX won awards for their vapes at Emerald Cup. So there's definitely still great product in the market. West Coast Cure still everywhere, right? There's really solid brands out there doing, good work. Do you have anything that really comes to mind and that stands out to you in your world before we end on extracts?
I'm gonna say that stands out. The brand Boutique, which is like a subsidiary of Stravinsky's, they kind of work together. They have a 1 gram vape that has 2 flavors. They call it the switch. You can like switch between the flavors.
That's cool.
I like that. I think it's Liquid Diamonds. But I like the hardware. I like that you can like switch between 2, because sometimes you be getting, I don't know, sometimes I'm over smoking like the same strain. So I like that. I think they're very creative. But yeah,
I'll throw this in here real quick. The best rosin vapes I've had haven't come from California.
Oh,
Michigan, so far.
interesting.
Crazy, right?
Try. Yes.
Crazy, right?
I mean, I would give it to another state for vapes. You know what I mean? Like, because I feel like California is kind of more pre-roll flower focused, because we got that down. So I would give it to another vape, another state.
So let's end on dabs and extracts. You've been in multiple stores. You've been around for multiple years. Numerous brands, dabbing, rolling it up, all of the things. Right? We've seen that. How many events have we been at with dab bars? Right? Come on.
Right.
But we know that 710 Labs is up there at the cream of the crop. Who else falls in line for some of the best extract brands here in California? Gone are the days of Moxie. Gone are the days of some of these brands having heavy dab market share. There is a whole new world.
A whole new world. So I'm not a big dabber. So I could just say
we could throw Coldfire in there with 710 because that's oil. ABX.
Yes, ABX. I mean, we talked about West Coast Cure,
Rosin Tech for rosin.
Papa Select. They have a pretty good rosin. Raw Garden just dropped a rosin. Not
Oh yeah,
bad.
I heard about that. How was it?
Not bad. I mean, it's not going to be tier one 710, but it's a rosin. It's good. If you want to try rosin, I would definitely point you in that
I
direction.
just had a live resin brand, ABCDE. It's pink, but it's pronounced Absidy. They have really, really good live resin products. I was pretty impressed.
Okay. There's a brand my homie reps for them called 888 Hertz.
Yep, familiar with those guys. They do good work.
Yeah, they do some good work. They have some good rosin. They have some good rosin. They have some good edibles that are like it's
Isn't
like
it the frozen candy?
yeah, it's like puff taffy.
Yeah.
I've never experienced that. It was a really cool experience in an edible. But yeah, they have good quality rosin. But yeah, I'm gonna give it to like Rosin Tech. I'm gonna give it to 710.
Yeah. Those are some of the top tier ones in the state.
Yeah,
And
Classic
Kentucky at this
has some
point.
good punch. Punch has good rosin.
Oh yeah,
too.
can't sleep on punch.
Yeah, I can't sleep on punch. And I should have threw them in their punch because they got good pre rolls. They have some pretty good vapes. They have good edibles too.
I just haven't seen them recently very much. I guess that's what it was.
Yeah, I feel like they're kind of chill. They're not too in your face with their branding.
Yeah.
They're consistent. Yeah.
Now, this whole episode, Diane, you've talked a lot about other people and what they've been doing, and so I wanted to be able to share the platform with you and what you're up to. You were running an event series before. You launched a music series called the Harvest Sessions, and so could you at least explain to the people before we get you out of here what you're doing in the world of music and cannabis and how you bridge those two gaps?
Yeah. I mean, music's always been a really big part of my life. I feel like there was a time where I needed to make a decision on whether I wanted to like follow a music career or, do cannabis. I picked cannabis, but music's always part of my life, and I wanted to figure out how I can use the two. They do go hand in hand. A lot of creatives do consume one way or another, whether it's smoking, vapes, edibles. So 2 years ago, I want to say I launched All My Friends Are Dope. It was like a live series. We pulled up, did performances, brought my friends out, brought dope cannabis brands. We kind of just mingled, smoked, listened to music. It was a great, great time. Earlier this year, we launched the visual music series, the Harvest Sessions, which I got to film at my store. Shout out to my boss for letting me do that. We're about to get into season 2. It really was just a crazy idea. When I walked into the space for the first time, I saw the Grow Show, and I was just like, this would be a great backdrop for something,
Right.
And then, just because I do music, because I have a lot of friends that do music, I was like, we should film something cool in here.
Everybody's seen the series of performances in studios or in high-level spaces or with the camera dropping down in this crazy garage that was rented for way too much money.
Yeah.
Why not do it in a dispensary with the Grow?
Why not do it in a dispensary with the Grow? So we did that. We shot 10 episodes. I did an episode as well, which is crazy. But
yes, can we pull up one of these real quick?
Yeah.
Yes, we finally got it. All right, look, there she is, right there at the beginning. Okay, one second.
But we could start at the bottom. We should start.
She said, "Hold on." She's like, "Don't start with me. Don't start with me. Let's start with this one."
I mean, everyone is my favorite. I don't want to say that I have like specific favorites, but yeah, I think this is a little trailer we could play. But I have my homegirl Bay come. She's dope, doing lots of dope stuff. That's her right there. Had the homie Quinn. Yeah, like it was super fun. Prestige. A lot of these people have been on the All My Friends Are Dope stage, so it was cool to get them in studio, in front of the camera just to perform. Yes, Black from Home. This is a dope band. They killed it. They did a live version, which I want to do more live next season.
That's pretty sick.
It had like a cool vibe, different sound. But yeah, the homie Cody, yes. And I was really blessed that a lot of these people came and like trusted me and trusted the vision, because I didn't know how it was going to turn out. I was like, I think it'll look cool.
It does look cool, right? Like you're doing music that's getting creative. It's happening. You're giving them a platform. It just has to happen that first time. And you've got these videos are dope.
Yeah. Yeah. Super cool. it's something that I'm proud of. It was really a passion project. It was really a dream. So just to be able to see it and like have it here, it's definitely fulfilling.
Okay,
Definitely.
now there's a bunch to watch through, but I want to see yours.
Yes, we can see mine.
Let's
I feel like I was
go.
into it. I have so much fun in the background. I have so much fun producing and putting things together and creating platforms for other artists that, I didn't even really plan on doing it, but everyone's like, you got to do it. So I stepped
That's
in. I
fire.
stepped up. Yeah.
She stepped up and she got it done, man. It was her concept, her idea, and then she got up and hit us with the 12th performance, and I love it. That's dope, man. You know, we've known each other for a few years now, and it's cool to be able to look back and like, going on saying earlier, like Kent and Seattle, Los Angeles, multiple retails in multiple cities. I travel and do weed things and still do music shit. Like, it's super cool to be able to connect with you and go full circle. Some when over the years when we keep coming back into each other's lives, and you know
Yeah.
it's an honor. I hope one day to be a part of that series, and maybe not from a performance standpoint. Don't get excited, everybody, all you viewers. You're not going to get me up there rapping and singing, that's for sure. Maybe a background dancer, you know what I'm saying? I'm just kidding.
Hey, yeah,
Hey,
some stuff. I'm really trying to, connect with a bunch of people and just do some crazy stuff. Trying to throw a festival, like just trying to do it all. Trying to do it all. I would
absolutely.
love for you to be a part and all the things that you do. You do great work as
Come
well.
on, we out here, man. Respect my region. This was episode 2, you guys, of the California Cannabis Podcast. I'm your host, Joey JayPing. Today we had the special guest, very special, very dope, because all her friends are dope.
Yes.
Diane Kessler in the building, man. Make sure you guys tap in. Go down to downtown Los Angeles, Arts District Cannabis. Show them some of the goodies. Yeah, there we go. Buy that weed
Power we
from
got
her. Support.
going.
And of course, if you guys have any questions, if you guys by chance need any marketing support, Seedless.media, our sponsors, paid for this episode. So big shout out to those guys for helping us out and putting people on the platform. Diane, do you have anything else for the people before we get you on out of here?
I mean, thank you for your time. Thank you for having me. Come check me out, Arts District Cannabis in the Arts District in downtown LA. We're here every day, open 7 to 10 p.m. Come through.
7 to 10 p.m. You guys can tap in, but 24/7 you guys can go follow them on Instagram. Let them know. What's the Instagram?
Yeah, our Instagram is ADC Art Gallery.
Yep. And then your music series is called The Harvest Sessions, and that would be Instagram.com/The Harvest Sessions.
Yeah, you can follow the Harvest Sessions. You can follow All My Friends Are Dope.
Yep.
Yeah, you can follow me, whatever.
Follow all the places and support, because that's what we do. Hey, and I appreciate you being here with us today. Thank you so much. For all of you guys watching, you can talk shit about me, but make sure you support